Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so the Philippines had actually captured a North Korean freighter in March after the missile test of North Korea. There was a lot of speculation on what sanctions should exist. One sanction imposed was on North Korea's shipping company, OMM. I'll get into that in a minute. And basically, this freighter, Jintang or MV Jintang, was actually flying a different flag than what it should have been. So what they did was they stopped it. It was searched. No contraband was found. This actually became a UN matter. The United Nations actually had to get involved. And basically, since there was no contraband on board, the UN actually delisted this vessel from the list that they had imposed sanctions on for. But this wasn't the only time this vessel actually had problems. It has been stopped in 2 other ports I remember reading. And basically, the Philippines released the seized North Korean ship after a UN lifts basically the embargo on the company. Now, no UN guys were actually on the ground or actually made it there. They basically just did it all over the phone and various other sources. But port authorities and various others did stop the boat, board it. I believe the crew was temporarily detained. I'm not sure if they were under suspicion of one thing or another, but they were detained. And this became a big deal, and oddly enough, one that the United States didn't even hear about, so that makes you wonder exactly what was going on. But basically, the MV Jintang had been embargoed and delisted from ships allowed to, do commercial commerce and operate under shipping laws, etc., under the UN Security Council UNSC Resolution 2270. And basically, Charles Josie, a foreign minister spokesman for, I believe, the Philippines, basically said it in a text message that no team from the United Nations came to inspect the ship, but local authorities did not find any contraband on board except for some broken aids to navigation equipment, the Coast Guard said. There's a lot to this, but I'm just giving you the gist of it. And, you kind of do stupid things. You win stupid prizes. And the flag they were actually flying, for whatever reason, and it hasn't been explained, was actually the Sierra Leone flag. And that part would be interesting to see if they were coming out of Sierra Leone, if they had a Sierra Leone crew, which I know from North Korea they wouldn't. But again, with all the shipping companies, all the different things, I don't know how this freighter is managed. I mean, it might have a shipping company in North Korea. It might dock in China. It might go down into the Philippines. But it might have a Sierra Leone crew. I don't know all the details on this. But it's actually pretty interesting. And when their ships were delisted, they also included the Jintang, which is a ship that was detained by the Philippines. And it didn't list the other ones, whether or not those were also detained. But basically, these were all blacklisted for ties with Pyongyang's arms trade. China said the ships were not OMM ships, the company in question, which is why the freighter was detained, and secured a commitment that the ships would no longer use North Korean crews. So evidently China's behind this to some degree or another, or they're basically spot checking North Korea. And basically, this is all because of North Korean shipping firm Ocean Maritime Management Company, OMM, and their ships that fell under Chinese North Korean jurisdiction. And some of them had ties earlier with Pyongyang's arms trade. So they had to check them for contraband, and supposedly none were found. Lots of other little details which were probably, very thorough. I still think it had cargo. I still think there were weapons on board. But in the end, who really wants to trade with North Korea as far as weapons? China would be giving the weapons, and the Chinese could literally not even have to create a shipping company to do that. North Korea does not have a list of allies that are very large, folks. So I wanted to share this with you. The source will be listed. It's actually a great story. Thank you.